Thomas down the main. One day, Thomas was at the junction when Gordon shuffled in with some tracks. "Phew," said Thomas. "What a thunder smell." "Can you smell the smell?" "You can't smell the smell," said Billy. "It's a thunder, master sort of smell," said Thomas. "On purpose to tell you this, grunted Gordon, "it must be Ross." Not long ago, Gordon had fallen into a dirty ditch. He knew that Thomas was teasing him about it. "Billy and Clever Bill, John, what do you think it is?" said Thomas. "It's ditch water." Gordon didn't have time to answer, as Thomas was son Captain Turner and Clever Bill. Then he puffed quickly away, and Clever Bill could hardly believe her eyes. "He's listening, Rod. Is it great to see? Is it great to see? He's definitely Rod." They tried to talk each other. They'd great respect for Gordon, the big engine. "You mustn't be Rod. You'll make us a scene," they kept telling Thomas. But Thomas didn't care a bit. It was funny. It was funny. He chuckled and he had a peace with himself. Thomas left the coaches at the station and went off to a mill for some tracks. Long ago, miners digging for lead had made tunnels under the ground. The tunnel walls were strong enough to trucks, but they could not take the weight of the heavy engines. A large purchase in danger. Engines must not pass this board point. Thomas had often been warned about it. Thomas had been warned, but he didn't care. He often tried to pass the same before, but it never succeeded. He knew the rules. He had to push into trucks into one seating and wait to click forward from another. This morning he lost as it passed along. He made a plan. "Silly old bot," he said to himself, getting rather and rather of the danger scene. The driver stopped him, and the seaman went to turn the punch. "Now for me plan," said Thomas. He bumped the trucks faster, jerking the driver off the footplate. "Hurrah!" said Thomas as he followed the trucks into the seating. "Come back!" called his driver. It was too late. "Stop it, old bot," said Thomas as he went past it. "There's no danger, there's no danger." "Look out!" screamed the driver. The seaman curved into the cabin, tried Thomas's brakes. Driver there's a rumbling, and the rails cricket. The feeling junker, and the rails sit and perk. Feeling smirk, said Thomas. It sank that he was. Thomas could just so out of her that he couldn't move. He said, eat in the city engine, and the not of one talk. So that was a bit concerned. He just agreed. His sorrow. Just get me out. It would be not again, said Thomas. Not sir, said Mr. Conservator. We can't lift her out with the key because the ground is not firm enough. Said, I wonder if Gordon could pour her out. Yes, said Thomas nervously. He didn't want Gordon to strip. When Gordon heard about Thomas, he laughed like a darn amazing. Oh, what a jerk, what a jerk. He startled passing kicked the top of his coat. It's not Thomas. Gordon isn't. There's not hurt in a couple of plus. The men fastened the cables, strong ones between Gordon and Thomas. Are all with the heave of the conspirator. But they didn't pull Thomas out in tophouse. It was a lot harder than they all thought. Gordon worked hard, but it took a long time to feel the poor Thomas out of the hurt. It's harder, it was cheeker, said Thomas. That's all right, Thomas, said Gordon. You'll make me laugh. Thomas was ever pleased that Gordon wasn't angry, he said, anymore. Thomas's fate got for he needed a pulpit on the station. Can we cook together? Asked Thomas. Of course he could, said Gordon. Oh, poor Robert, think of Robert much, said Thomas. And buffer to buffer, the chaffins puffed through. He turned. Thomas's Christmas party. It was Christmas on the island of Sparta. All the engines were working hard. Thomas and Herbert were carrying people and parcels up and down the balcony. Herbert was Herbert. And the churches and Herbert were complaining. It's always the same before Christmas. They grumbled. We feel so full. We feel so full. Oh, come on, said Thomas. She puffed out of the station. As a festive started. Leave that to others. Only good is hard work, said the churches. Christmas Day's all first time. Baby seat off the chair was an urban little cottage, with a man with figure standing by the gate, waving to him. It's Mrs. Kane, Mr. Thomas. Happy Christmas. However, and birds, Thomas always felt better to see Mrs. Kane. Christmas just wasn't a Christmas without Mrs. Kane, he said, and puffed off the arm. And that was over. Thomas went to serve the other engines. It was a scene of great celebration. Their clothes had been polished, and they felt like a proud of themselves. Said Gordon, just knock at us. Your David will have to work fast to get you to knock as smart as us. Never mind that, replied Thomas. I've something important to say. To your learners, it's a hurrah since Mrs. Kane has saved us from a nasty accident. You'll remember when Sir was ill in bed and... Yes, of course, interrupted Edwin. Your told us how she raised a red dressing gown out of the window to warn about the landslide on the neighborhood. And Norman Tilburg gave the peasants, said Charlton, and the fat conservator sent her to Bournemouth to make it better. That's what James and Henry together. The rest of us never learned a thing to properly. Exactly, said Thomas triumphantly. Now, I think we shall all give her a special Christmas party. The big engines were donated, and so were the Chambers and Freeman. We'd make that, he said. The party would be fun. We'll also fit controller. The Chambers felt smart that the fit controller would appear. Indeed he did. A party thought that for Mrs. Kane, said the fit controller. What a splendid it was, Thomas. Mrs. Kane is a very good friend of us all. Everyone is looking forward to the party, and the engines were some making plans, and sailors fell. The fit controller and bad news. The weather's changed, he said. Mrs. Kane is all spurred up. Purpose is, helped to escort her. You must talk to her. There's her party and Miss Rotter. Thomas hated spur, but he said briefly, I'll chase her. We must escort her, we must. There's a cold engine, smell the thick conservator. You're interpreter, a very splendid clip. The men came to fit Thomas in the shirt part. Thomas and Turber set off toward the restaurant. Thomas charged the circuits faster. Sometimes he swept them aside. Sometimes they stuck fast. When they stuck, Thomas and Herbert saw Expert, men from the bin come Lawson, the hard purchaser. Then they went on, and on they went again. It was taking and hard work for everybody, but when they came to the cutting of the cottage, they called her father. Look at that, screamed Thomas the screaming. Father, whistled Thomas. The spurt was so deep round the house that the answering wave had to come from an upstairs window. Spurt, father, came a voice from within the house cottage. It's Turbot, said Thomas excitedly. He's come to her top. Sudden enough, Turbot's her spurt out and was working hard to clear the path Tom and Avery made unsafety. At long last, the witchcraft was complete. Percy agreed to take the two workmen through. Turbot said gumby to Mrs. Caner and promised to take her to the cottage. As he watched them all set off, the engines made God tame her moss had fallen, but the yard was dark when they leave the ticket. The shed doors were shut. Nervous sailors, nervous were onto the sea. Thomas's heart sank. Then suddenly, all the nits came, went on. What a marvelous sight awaited Mrs. Caner. Well done, said the second, sneering. It's an England that turned off your hall. Mrs. Caner especially favored the smaller engines. Thomas and Percy are very friends, she said. No, Percy, your name is Fenton. Percy was so pleased that he babbled over. The bed was for Mrs. Caner, he said. They all whistled. The head controller heard his pause, but everyone else laughed and joined in. Wait, everyone, he said. One talk about Happy Christmas, Mrs. Caner. All the engines whistled, and everyone began to sing. We wish for a Merry Christmas, we wish for a Merry Christmas, we wish for a Merry Christmas, and a happy New Year. Thomas had taken him, and his friends thought it was the best Christmas ever. But Mrs. Caner could think of her word, spoke of rather live than hard with them, the island of Sparta, the end. And what's this? Thomas, Percy, and the crew. It was a beautiful morning on the island of Sparta. Thomas the Tinkinson's blood paint sparkled in the sunshine. She puffed her pip along the broad snake with his curses in it and curved. Thomas made God tame and song and evening the station that Turpin and Percy were reaching the pitfall. He was feeling very pleased with himself. "Hello, Thomas," whispered Percy. "You look splendid." "Yes, indeed," said Thomas, bursting. "Law is the only proper colour for an engine." "Oh, it made me brown paint," said Percy. "They've always been clean. They wouldn't want to be in the other colour either," said Percy. "Now, anyway," laughed Thomas, "the law is the only proper colour for the useful engine. Everyone knows that." Percy said no more. He just came to Turpin. "And you're only told me that Thomas sometimes copper and it's what shall secret of his own God." Later Thomas was resting in a settee when Percy lived in the yard. Percy pulled his tracks toward a large hopper and with curve. Thomas was being cheeky. "Careful, Percy," he warned. "Watch out for the spirit trucks." "Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on," muttered the trucks. As Percy felt toward each one under the hopper. "And babe away," went on Thomas. "Those buffers took not in a safety net." And she got her purpose in a tremendous bump. The last truck passed the hopper much too fast. The curve fell down all over Thomas. "It's choking," said Thomas. "Get me out." Percy was laughing. She couldn't help laughing. Thomas's smart blood paint was covered in coal dust from smoke box to bunker. "You did look in it. You're so new, Thomas. You're not in and disgraceful." "It's not disgraceful," spoke Thomas. "No, Father. You did that on purpose. Get me out." It took the men so long to clean Thomas that he wasn't too tame of his next chain. Turpin had to take her and curb her instead. "Oh, Thomas, yes, young tank engine," Mr. Bennett and Curvebell. They've been first upset. Thomas was upset too. He was very grumpy in the sickness. Turpin thought it a great stroke. But Percy was cross with Thomas for thinking it made his pain. Thomas was pained. He did make his pain dirtier on purpose. "It's a very useful engine coloured blow, Nick Thomas, becoming a disgrace. Thought the Fed controlled this railway, said Sir Paul. It wasn't dismissed all this from anything, he chuckled. Thomas hit the platform next day, and Purser brought his trucks in from the junction. The trucks were heavy. They fitted so tight. Purser puffed. She poured into the shirt. Have a drink, said Miss Jacob. Then you'll feel better. The water column stopped at the end of the shading with the unsafe buffers. The props underneath the buffers were old and needed mending. Purser moved forward and found himself that he couldn't stop. The buffers didn't stop him either. Oh, well, Purser, help! The buffers were broken, and Purser was knee deep in coal. Ninander hit the camera. It was time for Thomas to leave. He'd seen everything. Now Purser has learned his lesson too. He chuckled to himself. That night, the 12 engines made up the quabble. It didn't cause our accident on purpose, Thomas, said Purser. You'll tell her that, Purser. Of course, replied Thomas. It ain't harder, it is cheaper. Your green paint knocks splendid again, Tom. In future, we both need to be more careful with coal, said Thomas fiercely. Henry Chase and Spencer. And Chase are working on the goods change that coming from small engine dock. And there is Thomas Purser can't hit something that does not pay to take on 9 sheets of one morning Henry and Chase at a standstill. He didn't have anyone to sink their trucks. Thomas and Purser were working on the balcony. They couldn't sink their trucks. David told Herbert that there was some team when it comes in, and the men give them mishaps to deliver. If it comes over, it promised them another engine can help them. Said Henry, it's a big team. They make it a martyr, a bunch of kids letting their jaws and come out, said Chase. He waited something of urgent talk again. It came as a surprise, it did. Good morning, said Spencer. Oh, hello. You thought on the purpose with the hunting. Oh, that is something. Yes, yes, very unseated. Yuck. That is just something. Oh, it's a perfect best. Spencer did. It is not easier said than done. All the gods of it. First you talk the church and the faithful. Not bad, often there's after some of these trucks, said James. There's the victims, the ships of the business decided to get on this. But you can't take all of it. Oh, it's complicated, it's better. Next day, they were talking this way themselves. They thought it could be paid to get the job done quicker. This is nice to take this surface stuff, said James. And the ones that take things not so much, said Henry. I'll make a piston. And that's enough to speak, father.